Oh, I'm sorry. I just had to run to the store real quick in New York. Hold on, I'll be right back. And welcome to the video. Let me just make sure we're recording here. Yes, we are. We are indeed recording. Welcome from the hot zone of the Dos Equis virus, the coronavirus. Yes, here we are in the hot zone of New York. I'm coming at you live. I actually feel like I'm one of those reporters coming at you live from Raccoon City before the zombie comes and boom, gets him because Leon S. Kennedy didn't get him in time. Or everybody getting excited for Resident Evil 3 remake coming out. Jill Valentine. With that in mind, I have a couple things to discuss here about this wonderful coronavirus. I've got a whole sheet here. Of course, zero sugar vitamin water because, I'm trying to get all slim and trim for the ladies, like they say. I've got a whole sheet of things I'd like to go over here about this clusterfuck joke. I don't know, but we've got a few things to share with you. We'll talk about them now. Wet my whistle. Okay, I think the first thing we're going to start with is how am I doing? I'm obviously still here fine. I haven't died. I was promised zombies. We didn't get any. Though, with the way some people are acting, you might not believe that. But let's go over some of the points here. I'm obviously doing fine. Other people are not doing fine very, very much. And we'll discuss that as we go down the list. I've got a few talking points I'd like to hit right here because I can't particularly say I'm getting stir crazy. I'm making it through my backlog of games. Super Mario 3D World, I actually just made it to Champion Road. It's a bitch. Not particularly having a good time with that, but it's going to give me something to do. But here's a few of the things I'd like to cover, because if I hear them one more fucking time, I'm going to give a little toot on Kurt Cobain's microphone and fucking paint the wall behind me with my brains, because I cannot fucking stand some of these things that I've heard, such as Andrew Cuomo has been doing a great job with this. I don't always like to give the man credit, but a broken clock. No. Under no circumstances has Andrew Cuomo been doing a great job with this fucking thing, and I've been saying that since day one. People seem to be. I'm going to just say it now. I actually think that I'm smarter than a lot of Americans. I'm not saying, oh, look at him. He's got a big head on his shoulders. I actually do think that. I'm not saying my audience. I'm saying my audience probably thinks that they're smarter than a lot of people too. But just seeing the stuff that I've been seeing for years, but over this outbreak, I do think that I'm smarter than Americans. And what I mean by that is, I'll get these ideas, these inklings, and I'll say, no, like, for example, my feelings with the NRA. I knew years ago they were a fucking joke, farce, and some we shouldn't even mess with. I was laughed at. Oh, and what are you doing, mister? And now everybody seems to hate the NRA. I seem to, get to the right answer a little bit quicker than everybody else. And that seems to be how it's going here with things like Cuomo is doing a good job. I've said since day one, of course he's not. But then, of course, people played it off as, well, come on, you just hate Cuomo because that little safe act, that little nonsense. Come on, let's be objective here. Yes, objectively, I don't like what he's doing. If you want, I won't even mention the safe act in regards to this. Cuomo is doing a terrible job. Let's see why. I think this is a total overreaction. Total overreaction. Better safe than sorry? No, it doesn't work that way. I know we're going to keep people safe, and we're going to, if it saves one life. Ooh, he said the trademark, he said the thing. He actually said if it saves one life, we need to shut down the whole state. Afraid not. Afraid not. No, I'm afraid not. Just like the string that walks into the bar was not served by the bartender because the bartender says, we don't serve strings here. So he goes out, messes up his little string hair, ties himself into a knot, goes back, asks the bartender again. Bartender makes him a drink, but as he's handing over, he says, are you a string? And the string says, no, I'm afraid not. Afraid not. I'm afraid not. The line is, I am afraid he's not. What was I talking about? Oh, I'm afraid the line of if it saves just one life is not worth it. No, you can't shut down the entire economy if it saves one life. Unfortunately, people are a little bit expendable. Oh, you're going to get people seeing those fuckers on the right wing saying people are expendable. No, I live in this thing called the real world. I don't like that people have to die, but unfortunately, And I'm not saying, okay, you can live, you can die, this one, that. It's not worth shutting down the entire economy for the life of one person because, in turn, I know it's all that evil money, but shutting down the whole economy is going to fuck a lot more people over in the end to the point that they die. Again, it's risk versus reward. You can't say day one that that's it, we're shutting down the state, we're putting it on pause. What we're going to do is come up with a clever acronym like SAFE. Oh, there's me talking about it, despite the fact I said I wasn't going to. We're going to put the state on pause and shut down the entire state. And I'm over here like, excuse me, no, let's not do that. But people, oh, it's a pandemic. One of the reasons people piss me off is because I've been getting people on the right saying for years, oh, it's fake news. It's all just they're putting this stuff out there, fake news. And I agree with that. A lot of stuff on the news is fake news. But then here we have this situation, which I think is a total media fabrication. I think the reason that you see so much death and destruction and stuff because of this coronavirus is because people are focused on it, like this news, because it sells. We get them focusing on that, and people are like, oh my god, it's totally true. You know that news that you hated and fucking it didn't report the truth? It's all of a sudden reporting the truth. Now it's a big pandemic. We have these numbers, but this many people died in Italy. Yes, but when you look at the actual scale of the numbers for something like the flu, oh, I hate when people compare it to the flu, but when you look at the actual scale of numbers, it ain't that bad. It really isn't bad. When you look at percentages, it ain't that bad. When you look at the people that have recovered, which they tend not to tell you about, not actually that bad. Let's not shut down the whole state. Let's not, if it saves one life, let's not do that. I've been saying that since day one. And then we get the geniuses that say, well, your family on there, I bet you'd say that. No, I actually pride myself in remaining objective in situations like this, just like the people that say, well, if it was your family in Sandy Hook, if it was my family in Sandy Hook, then fucking I could go put them in the display and call them Swiss cheese. Maybe I'd get a few sales. Get the fuck over it. Get over it. You can't let your mind be messed up by all this emotion. Yes, it's hard to put emotion on the side, and I pride myself by being able to do that in even such situations as this. If I got the coronavirus right now and it was one of those people that actually died from it and I knew I had like a day to live, I would probably still be making jokes about it because I don't know, that's just the way I deal with things. That's the way I like to handle situations. But I don't like to get fogged by emotion. What happens when you do is you close down a whole state, create an overreaction, and cause a big clusterfuck. And who knows that it's a big clusterfuck? Well, me since day one, but even Andrew Cuomo knows that it is a total clusterfuck, and maybe he shouldn't have done that because he said, maybe I shouldn't have shut down the whole state. Do you think so, sir? You think maybe you shouldn't have shut down the whole state? Nobody has known, like, this whole thing about essential employees and non-essential employees. Nobody has even known what the procedures are. How do you find out if you're essential? Because it seems like you can become essential and non-essential and this essential and that essential. It's been a total fucking disaster. I don't think this has been we gotta give credit, Andrew Cuomo. He's doing the best he can. No, he's not. He shut down the state in a complete overreaction, and we're paying for it. And not only did he shut down the state, I think this is one of my further points, he's got these totalitarian policies that are a little bit ridiculous. Like, we're having a stay-at-home order. Oh, wait, if they go out, they're not going to arrest you and this and that. I don't care if they actually are or they aren't, because the idea got out there and people fucking supported it. People said, well, it is to prevent the spread. You cannot support this sort of government nonsense for a total fucking overreaction and then say, well, yeah, he's doing a good job. No, the governor should have exactly zero input on whether you go to work or not. If you own a fucking business and you want to take those chances and go out there and provide a service to people, and people want to populate your business, that's your fucking choice. And don't give me that shit, well, we're preventing the spread of virus, and your right to own a business does not trump my right to not catch a virus. No, that's just like the same fucking line, oh, your right to own an AR stops at my right to be safe. You don't have a right to be safe. In this country, you have to take dangers. I understand we want it to be totally sterile, and if it saves one life. No, you have to accept danger. You cannot just throw the baby out with the fucking bong water, because you have to accept a little bit of danger. Unless somebody specifically goes to you and on purpose wants to infect you with something, and it scares me that there have actually been cases of this going on during this, you don't have a right to safety. Unless somebody specifically, purposefully infects you, you can't just say, well, we're just going to go ahead and close your business anyway. No, you're not. Well, apparently, I guess you are. I guess they're going to do whatever the fuck they want. It's just completely wrong. Let's see, what else do we have here? Like I said, he even admitted himself, the lying shitbag that he is. You want to talk about a clock being right twice a day? He admitted, a broken clock being right twice a day. He even admitted, maybe I went a little bit too far. No, you didn't go a little bit too far. You went totally, completely off the deep end, Cuomo. And from fucking day one, when you were, even back when this started, you were bashing the president, this, that, total clusterfuck. You didn't go a little bit too far. You did your regular knee-jerk shit. So did the fucking lunatic in California. You did the regular, normal shit that we can expect. And you went way too far. And now people are suffering for it. And your closures, like you mentioned, may have actually helped spread the virus a little bit more. So just keep that in mind. I'm just going to check, make sure I'm not ranting to myself. We are, in fact, still recording. I need to get a little mirror behind this one of those flip displays, but I'm doing this with my phone, so I can't actually see what the viewfinder is doing. Oh, let's see. Oh, by the way, don't worry, Trump is doing a horrendous job as well. I cannot believe all the fucking daddy Trumpers out there. Oh, yes, absolutely, Mr. President, absolutely. Absolutely, sir. I think you should enact the War Powers Act, and private businesses should be forced to build whatever the fuck you want them to. The War Powers Act, very, very dangerous wording, like the war on terror and the war on drugs. So they call it a war. You should have an alarm bell. You should have like a little exclamation point like Metal Gear Solid coming above your head to say, hold on a second, this ain't gonna be good. The War Powers Act. So private businesses can be forced under decree of government to build whatever the fuck they want them to. And he actually used it against GM. Just to be fair. If Obama did this, it might cause a civil fucking war. But because it was Daddy Trump, oh God, you don't want to spread that virus. The man's doing the best he can. The best he can would have been nothing. And I'm honest about that. I'm totally serious about that. Nothing. Because if we didn't buy into this hysteria and said, nah, we're not going to stop being Americans. We're not going to stop associating all that shit. You can go piss up a rope. I actually think the viruses would have been less. You'd have heard about it more. Oh, trust me, you'd have heard about it more. But I don't think a large impact would have actually been made. But that's just me. Let's see. Also on with this, he's done things like talk about different drugs. And that's fine, getting that information out there. But where I get a little scared is when we have things like the FDA regulating drugs. Okay, well, this is okay for this now, and this malaria drug's okay. And what's worse on that is when the media, when somebody drinks aquarium cleaner or pops some aquarium cleaner and says, see, it's that drug that Trump said, it killed people. No, he didn't. First of all, this goes back to the whole war on drugs thing. I don't think that doctors should be prescribing drugs in the first place. Because why the fuck should you need a permission slip to put things in your own body? I think prescriptions should be recommendations, but I should be able to go down to your local neighborhood pharmacy, get as much of whatever the fuck I want, whether it be all those scary things that you're going to say, heroin and marijuana and opioids and all this other crap. I should be able to go get a jar of cyanide, pay my tab, and walk out the fucking door with it. Oh, that's terrible. That would be fucking, there'd be terrorism all over the place. What exactly is preventing somebody from getting cyanide and creating a dirty bomb right now? Actually, I don't even know if you can use cyanide for dirty bomb, but, creating cyanide gas, that sort of thing. Don't tell me it's the laws on the book. I tell you it's that. If you're thinking about killing lots of people in a terrorist attack, you probably don't care about that one law saying, well, you can't do that. Anyway, that's my own little rant on against the war on drugs. I don't like the idea of prescriptions and how you need permission slips to try stuff and put it in your own body, but whatever. Next point. Oh yeah, I don't like the flip-flopping, and this is partially Trump's fault, and it's partially the media's fault. The coronavirus is a threat, and then it's not a threat, and then it is a threat, and then it's not a threat, and you get the radio talk show hosts that do the same fucking thing. When this first came out, it was a threat, And then we were going to have a travel ban. Trump's being a racist again. He wants to have a travel ban. Okay, whatever. And then, okay, it's not a threat. And then when he doesn't do anything, oh my God, he didn't do anything. First of all, let's just stop right there. Why is Trump the fucking grand poobah about doing anything? People get this whole idea when they blame everything on Trump or when they look for Trump and thank him for everything. We aren't in a dictatorship. That's just a little side thing that I get pissed off of. Why is everything Trump did this, Trump did that, Trump did Trump. What the fuck is that about? Why is everything Trump's fault and everything Trump's favor? Is this a fucking kingdom here? But you can't say, oh, well, it's not a threat. Oh, well, then it is a threat. Oh, well, then it's not a threat. I would have just gone with it's not a fucking threat, not caved to the fucking media pressure, but which Trump totally did. He fucking totally caved like fucking wet shit paper. He totally fucking caved. I would have said it's not a fucking threat. We'll be vigilant about it. But this whole shut down the whole fucking nation, and there might actually be a federal quarantine for this state, New Jersey, and some other state, that's not a good thing. That's not a good thing. Let Andrew Cuomo in this fucking state wallow in his own misery that he caused. We don't need a fucking federal lockdown. Just let you know about that. What else do we have here? Just more about, I don't agree with all this totalitarian policies, but what really scares me is people that are supporting them. That's right, that'll show GM. They'll get out there and produce those things because Daddy Trump said so. If you are okay with the government coming in and saying, you will produce this, because I'll just say that we got a war on it, and you will produce this, you're part of the problem. That's not okay. And with the quarantine thing, you will stay. Well, I agree. We don't need those fuckers coming down to Florida. We don't need those New York fucks coming down to Florida infecting us. I totally agree. If you're good with that, you're part of the problem, and you're lying to yourself. Because again, if Obama did the same thing, could you fucking imagine if Obama said, no, you can't pass between these states? I think there might have been an actual civil war that people keep worrying about. But and trust me, I would have been against it there too. But because Daddy Trump said it, no. What else do we have here? Oh, so Cuomo's doing a bad job. Trump's doing a bad job. And then before you fuckers say, well, what would you have done? Nothing. I would have done nothing and we've been better off. But I can elaborate on that in a different video. But who else is doing a terrible job? Your fellow Americans. Your fellow Americans are doing a fucking piss poor job. I don't think what's going on right now is the whole, we're going around, there's a bunch of Asian bashing going on. It was those goddamn fucking slant-eyed motherfuckers bringing it in here. I don't think that's going on. It's terrible if it is, but I think that's more of a media hype thing. But treating your fellow Americans that you see in the street when you don't stay home and you go to one of those essential trips you gotta go to, like the grocery store, just being afraid of your fellow Americans and wearing a mask and giving them distance because you've been conditioned. Oh, 6 feet, 6 feet. Are you fucking kidding me? Not only that, how else are Americans acting right now? For fame, they're doing things like coughing on vegetable stands or coughing on produce stands and saying, I have the coronavirus. Well, and then they're getting popped for terroristic threats, which is a good thing. But why are we doing that? Oh, for fame and fortune. We're licking toilet seats for fame and fortune. That sort of shit always goes on. But I'm not scared of my fellow Americans. I'm not scared to go to different gatherings. I'm just not, nor will I be. If somebody came up to me in the store right now and decided they wanted to shake my hand, I would take that. And on that note, I'll expand on something here. And this is really gonna fucking shock you here, sometimes act in adult videos. I've mentioned this before in my other videos, but now it's out there. So like, you know what adult videos are. And sometimes there's things like, and I am totally unashamed about this, so anybody trying to post in the comments like this, that, and the other thing, it's known among people that know me, and it's something I just talk casually about. But there's like bondage shoots, and there's like different sort of like domination videos, and one of those videos, sorry if I'm grossing anybody out there, you can skip past this portion of the video, you do things like foot worship, and you like, this is really going to shock people nowadays, you might kiss and lick people's feet. Yeah, I do that, and I'm totally not grossed out by it. That doesn't gross me out in the slightest. So even before this big outbreak, when people would be like, did you just double dip that chip? Or what would be good for me is somebody would be like, we'd be in work and we'd have like bagels, and they'll be like, oh, can you pass me a bagel? And I would pass them a bagel. I take it out of the bag, pass him a bagel. Like, oh no, I wanted the bagel. I'm not gonna eat that bagel now that your gross ass hands touched. Are you fucking kidding me? That's incredibly rude because it's saying the person is dirty, but I don't really care what people say about that anyway. But I'm like, I just think about, I'm like, when you see some of the stuff that I've licked and it totally doesn't bother me in the slightest, you need to fucking grow a set. You need to fucking move past this fucking, ooh, I gotta wash my hands every 10 seconds and with fucking alcohol, fucking hand sanitizer and this and that. I can understand taking precautions, and then I can also understand that stuff that's probably not actually going to get you sick. Like I said, when you lick the bottom of somebody's feet after they run a few miles on the treadmill, catch my videos on Clips for Sale. I don't know. I don't get the gross out and the, oh God, this fellow American, stay away from me. Gross, gross, gross. We're better than that. We are just better than that as a country. But that's a thing that's always bothered me, how everybody's such a fucking germaphobe in this country right now. I've been like I am, and I rarely get sick. And when I do get sick, I tend to get sick just the way my cycle has always been. I tend to get sick before everybody. It doesn't affect me that bad. And then I'm pretty much good for, fuck, I might get sick like once every 6 months. I'll get like a cold or something. But pretty rarely, even with all this crazy stuff that I do. So, I don't know. I've never understand the germaphobe. Oh, here's something I want to clear up really quickly. And this is going to fucking be very hard to explain. I've had to explain this to my friends, family. Some people get it, and they actually understand that I am making a fair point. But I want to clear this up really quickly. Let me just check the camera again one more time. Yep, still recording. This is a hard concept for people to understand, but I'm going to make it perfectly clear right now. There's no such thing as price gouging. That really fucking freaks people out. I see even people in my circles, like I watch a lot of video game videos, even like people like, oh, the NES punk, oh, this guy was hoarding hand sanitizer and the government came in and said you can't do that, and oh, really got one over him. There's no such thing as price gouging. Because not only because of the free market, that's kind of a generic excuse when people say, oh, it is the free market. If you buy it, you can resell it for what you want. That is true, and it's a very good point, but there's no such thing as price gouging. If you have some sort of a situation, like where there's all of a sudden a shortage on, say, hand sanitizer, if you do not raise the prices of that product, or somebody doesn't scoop in and buy it and raise the prices, which you could have done yourself, what you're going to have happen, and I know this might be far-fetched for some people to believe, is somebody's going to come in and buy all of it, and then everybody else is going to be left with nothing. If you instead price gouge because the price went up during a time of need, if you say, take that $2 bottle of hand sanitizer and say, make it $20. I know, it's fucking outrageous, it's freaking people out. However, money is a way to control inventory. Supply and demand. I mean, this is stuff we learned in Economics 101, but I say that's college. This was before that. This was like high school economics. If you take that $2 bottle of hand sanitizer and make it $20 overnight, you won't have somebody come in and buy it all. They'll be pissed that they have to pay $20 for one bottle of hand sanitizer, and it sucks, and I personally wish it wasn't that way. But then they won't buy the whole fucking thing. They'll buy their one $20 bottle, and the next person might be able to buy their one $20 bottle, and the next person might be able to buy their one $20 bottle. That whole, well, we're going to have a limit thing doesn't work either. When you say, okay, well, we'll just have a limit, 2 per person, because then what happens is, okay, I'll take my 2, and my sister will come in, my brother, my this, that, and the other person will come in, buy all their 2, and again, somebody has bought the whole thing. Price gouging, which doesn't exist, more like a supply and demand, is absolutely necessary, and it's the most necessary when you have times of crisis like this. I am so sick of explaining this to people. I absolutely cannot stand when people say, oh yeah, the government came in and they shut them down. There was somebody gouging for hand sanitizer, charging $20 a bottle, and the government came in and shut them down. You took the hand sanitizer away from the person that actually had it, that happened to be making a profit, which I know is an evil word nowadays in this country, and now nobody has it. So congratulations, you've done nothing. It sucks. I know but yeah, people, we don't live in a sterile environment. Things might suck every now and then. It sucks that you have to pay $20 for a bottle of hand sanitizer, but if you don't, you're not going to get it. So There's no such thing as price gouging. So just stop that. Don't make yourself sound stupid. I've had people tell me this all the time. Did you hear that overnight the price of generators or this and that and the other thing shot up? Those goddamn price gougers, and they're expecting you to say, oh, I'm glad the government stepped in and shoved it right up their ass. No, I'm actually, I'm not thrilled that people price gouge. I'm not thrilled that people come in and buy it all up and resell it. But the stores, usually because there's a law about price gouging, they can't raise the prices themselves. What they should do, if the stores didn't have these ridiculous like price gouging regulations on it, when they knew that there was a shortage, they should have jacked those prices up real quick. Because not to make billions of dollars of profit, because otherwise their good stores are going to get bought up just like they did. Case in point. Sorry, that's the way the real world works. It ain't always perfect. I hate to break that to people. Oh, and here's the other reason that our country, our fellow Americans are fucking bad and stupid. Wanting a stimulus bill. It's great, and my Colt Delta Elite that I'm going to buy with this money, with my $1,200 that I get, is going to be fantastic. It's going to be 10 millimeter. I'll get the stainless version. I don't want the rail on it, but it's going to be fantastic. Because if I had the option to not take it, and don't tell me, well, then you can just turn it. I mean, if I had the option that everybody didn't take it and we didn't get totally fucking hosed for this ridiculous stimulus bill, that's the option I'd go with. People are, it's so weird. I actually saw a post on Facebook from a real Democrat. Let's actually bash the left here for a bit. I saw a post on Facebook from a real Democrat that have you heard this one on Facebook? If you say Trump's not your president, then you better not take his stimulus bill. I'm sure you've heard that. Well, this Democrat took that and said, to all those people posting that thing, if you say Trump's not your president, then don't take his bill. Let's remember that it ain't Trump's money, it's ours. And I'm like, fucking brilliant. We've just had a breakthrough. We've just had a breakthrough with these people. It's our money. It's not Trump's money. He's not a fucking dictator. But these are the same fucking people that'll say, and by the way, let's get some of that free healthcare, free college, free this, free that, and the other. You've had a breakthrough understanding that it's not Trump's money, nor is it free money, yet you're struggling with, oh, we're going to have free healthcare, free education, free college, this, that. Are not right in the head. Like, drop my paper. Hold on a second. So yeah, it's the whole looping back to the whole stimulus bill thing. We shouldn't be having one because you know this is going to lead to this thing called inflation. When you just print money that's not backed by anything, the value of the dollar goes down. So you're in the end not really going to gain much money anyway, and you're probably going to have to pay it back. Hate to break it to you. But people clamoring that I'm so glad Trump finally signed off on it. I can't believe people wanted it. But considering it was something that happened and things were going back and forth in the debate, I love what the Democrats did with all their stuff. Well, we'll pass this stimulus bill, excuse me, but we want carbon emissions on airplanes. We want same-day voting registration. Pork barrel spending is what it's called, and it's horrendous. I don't like the stimulus bill anyway, but if you're going to have it, that's just really putting one on there. Anywho, what have I been doing so I don't bore you any longer than you have to have already been here? I've been scuba diving. I think I've mentioned this, and you may have seen some of my videos before. I am an SEI certified scuba dive master. I actually just got back from the Florida Keys last weekend. Or, God, it's quarantine. One of these weekends, I don't know, every year, all the days are blending together. And I did the Florida Keys. I tend to do the Florida Keys every year. And that gets, first of all, we go up to Pensacola to do the Oriskany, which is the largest artificial reef in the world. And then we go back down, we typically do Pompano Beach, then Key Largo, all the wrecks down there, the Spiegel Grove, the Dwayne, the Bib, Lou Key, we did the Adolphus Bush, did Key West, the Oriskany, some reefs down there. It's always a great time, tend to go once a year. Scuba diving, really great passion of mine. I've got my Conch Republic diver shirt on there. They're hurting. The Keys are hurting now because their wonderful governor decided, we're going to shut it down for all the tourists. The Overseas Highway, which is the one highway that goes all the way through the Keys, we're going to go ahead and shut that down because we're freaking out. So I did that. That is what I have been doing. But then I came back up here. This whole quarantine thing was going on. And I went diving in a lake called Lake George, which is nearby. And in the Keys, it was 75 degrees. And in Lake George, it was 38 degrees. So I went from a shirt and shorts that I went diving with to my full DUI-CFX 200 dry suit with full thermals, full hood, gloves, which weren't thick enough. Got to get some thicker gloves. And I had a great time there. But I'm mentioning this because on the way there, I saw a trailhead for a hiking trail. And fucking brilliant Governor Cuomo said, well, go out and enjoy nature in this little bit of time off you get from work. Enjoy nature, go out, stay away from people. This trail had at least 100 cars there with everybody congregating to go hike, because that's what he said, go hike. This shows you the absolute stupidity of people. Luckily, down the road where I went diving, me and my dive buddy were the only ones diving. Had a great dive. I mean, I've done the site before, but had a great dive. It was something that most people weren't doing that day. So, yeah, 100 people at the trailhead, 2 people diving from the beach. What else have I been doing? I've been going on a walk each day. Usually I go on about a 2-mile walk on a local bike path. Nice to see people out and about there. Trying to get... I am mad because the YMCA shut down. I like to go before work in the mornings to get a nice swim in the morning, but it's all shut down because, panic. So, that's another interesting point. Shut down all the gyms, and what do you think kills more people in this country? Coronavirus or heart disease and the obesity epidemic? I think I know it's not the coronavirus. Anyway, side point. My backlog of games, I'm catching up on it. I'm, again, working through Super Mario 3D World right now. I played a little NASCAR Heat. I've just got so many to get through. I've got The Evil Within Part 2. I've got so many games for my Switch. My Steam library is just fucking outrageous now that I built my new gaming PC, which I don't know if I mentioned before, with the 2 RTX 2080 Ti's, the i7, this and that, just over the top, but at least it'll play everything I have now. I'm catching up on my backlog of games. I went shooting every day because this ammo shortage, outrage, buy all the guns off the shelves, hasn't been bothering me. I've been taking a lot of different guns out. I'll just pick a random gun out of the safe each day, go, shoot it, clean it, kind of make my way through. I've shot my Glock 26. I've shot one of my many P99s. I've shot some 12 gauge out of my Tech 14. My P22 I was out shooting, just all sorts of different things. I saw the Netflix movie The Platform. This is an excellent movie for going on right now. Basically, plot synopsis is it's a prison, but the prison is vertical. It's like a high-rise tower, and there's a certain number of floors in it. And at the top, each day, a platform of food starts making its way down. So if you're on the first floor, you get first pick. Second floor, you get second pick. As you go down, you get left with whatever the people above you didn't eat. It's trying hilariously badly to be an allegory for capitalism. See, all the people at the top, all the rich people, they get what they want. And the people down at the bottom, they get fucked over. Except that's not how capitalism works. If that movie was actually capitalism, the people at the top would be putting stuff onto the platform, and most importantly, tools so that other people on the lower floors could take them off, add their own stuff to the platform. Don't get this idea that the people at the top just give people... I know it's called trickle-down economics, and it's actually a real thing that works, but it's not the idea that people at the top get everything and people at the bottom fuck you. That's not generally how it works. But that was an interesting movie, a little psychological thriller. If you've ever seen the Cube movies, it was kind of somewhat similar to that. And, well, like I said, I'm shooting every day. The ammo shortage has not bothered me. So that is it. Just a little coronavirus update. Hope everybody's out there doing well. Second shot out here, I think it's a little bit better lighting than the last time I shot out here. So